911, what's your emergency? The operator's calm voice was drowned by Donald Trump Jr.'s panicked shouting. There's a congresswoman. She's threatening me on live TV. Send someone. Now. The Capitol hearing room was still echoing with gasps from the audience as Jasmine Crockett's trembling hands gripped the microphone. Across from her, Trump Jr.'s face was flushed crimson, not with embarrassment, but pure rage. Crockett had just dropped her bombshell, confidential documents showing millions allegedly funneled through shell companies, money from unnamed foreign donors tied to Trump Jr.'s businesses. Cameras flashed. Reporters leaned in. Social media was already melting down. Then came the moment no one expected. Trump Jr. stood, jabbed a finger at Crockett, and pulled out his phone. If you don't stop, I'll have you removed, he barked. Seconds later, Capitol Police stormed into the room. The world watched as they approached Jasmine. Was this really happening? The live feed cut to black. But by then, millions were already typing furious tweets. Did Trump Jr. just call the cops in on a sitting congresswoman? And in that moment, America held its breath. 6 hours earlier, Jasmine Crockett sat in her dimly lit office, eyes locked on a manila folder marked confidential. Inside were hundreds of pages, bank transfers, foreign contracts, and signatures that read like a who's who of international power brokers. Her hands trembled as she read. 4.2 matters wired to Red River Holdings. Beneficiary, D. Trump Jr. She closed her eyes. The weight of what she was about to expose felt crushing. Her phone buzzed. It was her chief of staff. Are you sure about this? Going after him? Crockett's voice was steady. I don't care about the blowback. The truth matters. What she didn't know was that Trump Jr. had already been tipped off. In a private group chat labeled Crisis Mode, he texted his inner circle. She's bluffing, but if she isn't, we bury her. As Crockett stepped into the hearing room later that morning, she didn't realize hidden eyes were already watching her every move. The hearing had begun like any other, polite, procedural. But then Jasmine leaned forward, her voice razor-sharp. Mr. Trump Jr., can you explain these transactions? They involve shell companies tied to Russian oligarchs and Saudi investors. The room froze. Trump Jr. smirked, his trademark cocky grin slipping. Congresswoman, I won't dignify conspiracy theories with a response. But Crockett didn't flinch. She held up a document. This isn't a theory. It's your signature. The air thickened. Reporters whispered. Phones recorded every second. Then came the sound, Trump Jr.'s chair scraping violently against the marble floor. He lunged forward, jabbing his finger. You're playing a dangerous game, lady. Stop before someone gets hurt. Before Crockett could respond, her earpiece crackled. Ma'am, security says multiple unmarked SUVs are circling the building. Her blood ran cold. Had she just walked into a trap? Stay where you are, Congresswoman. The booming voice of a Capitol police officer cut through the tense hearing room. Jasmine froze, her heart pounding. Cameras continued rolling as officers moved toward her, not Trump Jr. Wait, she said firmly. Why are you coming for me? He's the one summoning you. Trump Jr., now visibly shaken, pointed at Jasmine. She's a threat. She's making false accusations and endangering my family. Gasps echoed in the room. Journalists typed furiously. Hashtags like Shariu, Protect Crockett, and She Trump Cover-Up were already trending worldwide. But Jasmine stood her ground. Do your job, she told the officers. Or does justice only apply to billionaires? The lead officer hesitated. We're just following protocol. Before they could take another step, a staffer barged in breathless. Congresswoman Crockett, there's a credible threat against your life. We have to get you out of here. Now! The room erupted into chaos as Crockett's security detail formed a protective circle. But as she was rushed out a side door, She caught Trump Jr.'s cold, satisfied smirk. Something told her. The real fight had just begun. Back in her secure office, Jasmine clutched her phone tightly as her voicemail played. "Stop talking or we'll silence you permanently. You've been warned." Her staffer whispered nervously, "Ma'am, this isn't just politics anymore. They're serious." Outside, protesters gathered, chanting her name in solidarity. But Jasmine's hands trembled, not from fear of the crowd, but from the weight of knowing she had touched a raw nerve in one of the most powerful families in America. Across town, Trump Jr. was already on Fox News. "This is a witch hunt. Jasmine Crockett is unstable, dangerous. She's trying to destroy my reputation with lies." But a text from an anonymous source came through to Jasmine's encrypted phone. "They're planning to smear you. Check your emails before midnight." Crockett leaned back, her mind racing. She had two choices: go public with the entire dossier now, risking everything, or wait and gather more proof, knowing every second she waited she was a bigger target. Her decision would change her life forever. By midnight, a shaky cell phone video leaked online. It showed two men in suits, allegedly Trump Jr.'s associates, discussing cleaning up the Crockett problem. The video spread like wildfire. TikTok exploded with the hashtag #CrockettLeaks. But the leak came with a price. Jasmine's phone lit up again. "Unknown number. This is your last warning. Leave the Trump family alone, or you won't make it to the next hearing." She stared at the message, her eyes welling with tears. This wasn't just about politics anymore. This was survival. As the sun rose, she made her choice. "I won't be silenced," she whispered. But as she prepared to step out of her office, her head of security stopped her cold. "Ma'am, there's a car bomb threat. We can't let you leave." And in that moment, Jasmine realized she wasn't just fighting for justice. She was fighting for her life. The hum of engines echoed in the parking garage as Jasmine's SUV rolled forward. Her security team scanned every shadow, every corner. Then, boom, a deafening blast shook the concrete walls. Fire and smoke consumed the car behind them, her decoy vehicle. Jasmine's scream was muffled by her bodyguard pulling her down. "They were trying to kill you," he said, voice tight with rage. Crockett's ears rang as sirens wailed. Through the chaos, one chilling thought crystallized in her mind. They won't stop until I'm gone. That night she was whisked to a safe house far from D.C. Her location was a secret, even from most of her own staff. But as she sat in the dim light, scrolling through endless tweets of support and hate, a text popped up from an unknown number. "You're safe for now, but there's a mole on your team." It started with little things. Documents missing, calls disconnected, scheduled interviews canceled without her knowing. Then came the email leak. Private messages between Crockett and her family, twisted and posted online, making her appear corrupt. Hashtags like #Crockett Exposed began trending. Her hands shook as she confronted her staff via video call. "Someone here is feeding them information. I need the truth. Now." Silence. Then her chief of staff spoke, eyes darting away. "Jazz, it's Aaron." Aaron, her trusted aide of 5 years. The man who once vowed to protect her legacy. When confronted, he didn't deny it. "They paid me. I didn't think they'd go this far." Crockett's voice broke. "You sold me out. For what?" His reply was barely a whisper. $500,000. And a promise to ruin you." She hung up, tears streaming down her face. While Crockett hid in silence, Washington roared with new revelations. An anonymous whistleblower, a former Trump Organization accountant, had come forward with evidence of offshore accounts and illegal campaign donations. CNN's banner screamed, "Trump Jr., secret deals exposed, FBI reportedly investigating." Jasmine watched from her safe house, heart pounding. This was the moment she had sacrificed everything for. But victory felt hollow. She was alone, betrayed, hunted. Her phone buzzed again. This time it was a FaceTime call from her mother. "Baby, don't give up," her mother pleaded, tears in her eyes. "Your fight is bigger than you." Crockett wiped her tears. "I know, Mama, but how do you fight when you can't even step outside?" As they spoke, her security chief's voice boomed from the hallway. "Congresswoman, the FBI is here. They say they have urgent news about Trump Jr." Two agents stood in the safe house living room, their faces grim. One slid a flash drive across the table. "Congresswoman Crockett," he said quietly, "this changes everything." Jasmine hesitated before playing the video. There he was, Donald Trump Jr., on a crackly hidden recording. "She's a problem. I don't care how you handle it. Just make sure she's silenced before midterms." Her stomach turned. "This is enough to indict him," the agent said. "But we need your testimony to bring it home." Crockett stared at the screen, tears threatening to fall. "My testimony will make me a bigger target." "We'll protect you," the agent promised. But Jasmine knew better. Protection was fragile when the powerful wanted you dead. As she sat in silence, a notification popped up on her phone. A new hashtag was trending worldwide. Stand with Crockett. That night, Jasmine made her decision. She would no longer hide. With only a single ring light and her phone, she went live to millions on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. "My name is Jasmine Crockett," she began, voice steady, despite her pounding heart. "And I've been hunted because I dared to tell you the truth." She laid out the evidence: the shell companies, the foreign donors, the death threats, the betrayal. "I am not a hero. I'm scared every second, but I will not let fear silence me. Because if they can do this to me, a congresswoman, imagine what they're doing to everyday people." As her live stream ticked past 10 million viewers, comments poured in. "We're with you, Jasmine. Don't back down. This is history in the making. Trump Jr. has to face justice." But even as hope surged online, her head of security burst into the room, pale. "Ma'am, they've tracked the IP address of your live stream. We have less than 5 minutes." The safe house went dark. Generators whirred to life as her team scrambled. Outside, headlights approached. 3 black SUVs, no license plates. "They're here," whispered her aide. Jasmine's pulse raced as armed men in tactical gear surrounded the building. This wasn't law enforcement, it was something darker. Her mother's face flashed in her mind. The people chanting her name in the streets. The millions watching her live stream replay. She refused to be their victim. "Record everything," she told her staff. "If I don't make it, the world will see what they did." As the first window shattered, Jasmine stood tall, gripping the flash drive like a weapon. This was no longer just her fight. This was war. Gunfire erupted outside. Bullets ripped through the walls as Jasmine's team huddled in darkness. Her security chief whispered, "We can't hold them off much longer." Jasmine gripped his arm, her voice shaking but resolute. "We're not dying here. There's too much left to fight for." A deafening crash. Smoke filled the room. Masked men stormed in, shouting orders. Her aide, Maria, grabbed Jasmine's hand. "This way, hurry!" They sprinted toward the back exit, but a masked gunman blocked their path. Maria shoved Jasmine aside as shots rang out. When Jasmine turned back, Maria was on the ground, bleeding, unmoving. "No!" Jasmine screamed, tears blinding her, but hands dragged her away. "She bought us time. We have to go." Outside, a waiting car screeched up. Jasmine dove inside as flames consumed the safe house. Her live stream replayed endlessly across social media. And as the world wept for her bravery, Jasmine whispered through sobs, "They took Maria, but they won't take my voice." News of the attack spread like wildfire. Across America and beyond, protests ignited. In New York, tens of thousands chanted, "We are Jasmine." In Paris, a banner hung from the Eiffel Tower. Truth will not be silenced. Even celebrities joined in. A viral tweet from a Hollywood actor read, "If Jasmine Crockett falls, democracy falls with her. Stand with Crockett." Meanwhile, Trump Jr.'s world began to crack. The whistleblower released more damning files. Photos of private meetings with foreign oligarchs, wire transfers tied to sanctioned regimes. The FBI officially announced, "Donald Trump Jr. under investigation for conspiracy and obstruction of justice." But Jasmine, hidden in a remote cabin, felt no joy. She stared at Maria's photo on her cracked phone screen. "They're all chanting my name," she whispered. "But at what cost?" At sunrise, Jasmine stood by a frosted window, clutching her flash drive. "You can stay hidden," her security chief urged. "You've done enough." But Jasmine shook her head. "No, they tried to kill me. They took Maria. If I disappear now, they win." She picked up her phone, opening a secure live stream app. "I'm coming back. This time, the whole world will watch." Her voice trembled, but grew stronger with each word. "To those who tried to silence me, you've only made me louder." Within minutes, her face lit up millions of screens worldwide. Comments flooded in. "Jasmine is a hero. Don't stop. We're with you. Take them all down." For the first time in weeks, Jasmine smiled faintly. "I will not bow. I will not break. This is bigger than me now." But as her live stream peaked at 50 million viewers, an urgent call came in from the FBI. "Congresswoman, there's a mole in the bureau. They know your location again. The private jet touched down at a secret airfield in Virginia." Jasmine's heart pounded as she stepped out, flanked by FBI agents. "This is insane," her security chief whispered. "You're walking into the lion's den." But Jasmine's voice was steady. "This ends today." Inside a dimly lit room, Trump Jr. sat alone, his signature smirk faltering as she entered. "Crockett," he sneered. "You really think you've won? My people will bury you. They always do." She slammed the flash drive on the table. "Not this time. The world already knows. You can't silence billions." Trump Jr. leaned forward, his voice low and venomous. "You won't live to see how this ends." Before he could finish, the FBI entered, cuffing him. Cameras flashed. The world was watching. Jasmine exhaled, but deep down, she knew this wasn't over. Back at her safe house, Jasmine received a chilling message. "We can't reach your mother. She's missing." Her hands went numb. Tears blurred her vision as she realized the fight had reached her family. Hours later, a video surfaced of her mother, blindfolded, pleading for Jasmine to stop. Jasmine collapsed, sobbing, "I can't lose her too." Then, steeling herself, she whispered, "If it's me they want, it's me they'll get." She called her security team. "Arrange a press conference. I'll give them my life if it means saving hers." That night, Jasmine walked onto a stage in front of millions watching live. "My name is Jasmine Crockett, and if this is the price for telling the truth, I accept it." As Jasmine spoke, tears streamed down her face. "I may not walk away from this, but remember, this fight was never about me. It was about all of us." Suddenly, cheers erupted outside the safe house. Tens of thousands had gathered, holding candles, chanting her name. From Paris to Nairobi, Sydney to São Paulo, millions joined in. "We are Jasmine." The pressure worked. Her mother was released unharmed. And moments later, Trump Jr. was formally charged with conspiracy and obstruction. But Jasmine didn't celebrate. The next morning she was arrested on fabricated charges. her final act of defiance. As she was led away in handcuffs, she smiled at the cameras. "They can cage me, but they can't cage the truth." Her words became a rallying cry worldwide. Jasmine Crockett became a symbol, a movement, a flame they couldn't extinguish. If this story moved you, don't let Jasmine's sacrifice be forgotten. Hit like to keep her fight alive. Comment, "We are Jasmine," to show your support. Subscribe and join millions standing for truth and justice. Together, we can make sure her voice echoes forever.